Hi, my name is Felix Karanja and I am a Facebook advertising guru. On day-to-day basis, I help small and medium-sized enterprises to scale their online presence in order to increase brand awareness, boost profitability, and to change people's lives. Now, in this video, I'm going to teach you the 4 building blocks of every successful Facebook ad out there. And the beauty of the information that I'm about to share with you is that these concepts can be implemented beyond Facebook and Instagram. You can try them out on Twitter, on LinkedIn advertising, and even some elements of Google Ads as well. So without further ado, let's get right into the video.
So there are 4 areas of your ad that need to be exceptional in order for it to be successful. The first one is creative, which is the photos or videos that go into your ad. The second one is copy, which is the text that accompany the creative. This text is in your headlines, it's in the captions, and it's also in the landing page where you're directing your traffic. The third one is targeting. Targeting is the bit where you tell Facebook, oh yeah, I want you to run this ad to particular audience who look ABCD. And the last one is placement. Placement is where you will place the ad. One way to look at it is this way. With every feature that Facebook and Instagram roll out, it's basically real estate for them to run more ads. And the place where you place your ad will definitely have an impact in how successful it is. So what are the rules for great creative? The first one is that your creative should be a scroll stopper. Now, what do I mean by a scroll stopper? A lot of people, when they're browsing social media, they're going at it at full speed, right? Your creative should be such that it automatically stops this person who's going through their feed and makes them, for those 2 seconds, just break from that monotony of the actions and consider you. If they can do that, first 5 seconds, you won. Now, a good tip here is to use contrasting colors. If you look at the Facebook interface, it's mostly white with some elements of blue. So use colors that contrast heavily with the white. If something like a red or the yellow, kind of yellow in this text here, is also really nicely contrasting. But you can also use your brand colors. That's also a very good way to go about it, especially if they contrast with the Facebook white and a bit of the blue. Secondly, don't be too wordy. Facebook actually punishes ads that are too wordy. They don't get served to that many people. So minimize the amount of text on your creative. Facebook has a tool called the text overlay tool that can help you identify whether or not your ad is using too much text. Now, the third thing that you need to keep in mind is to use the right dimensions for the placement. So, for example, if you're running an Instagram stories ad, create an image or a video that's going to fit the full screen, so it takes advantage of the full user experience for the Facebook or Instagram stories. If you use the photo from your feed on Instagram stories, it won't take advantage of the full screen ability, and it's going to result in a less than stellar user experience with your ad, which is also going to drive down your click-through rate. So just keep this tidbit in mind, especially for stories and for other placements that require images with or videos with different dimensions. Now, fourth bit, remember this: video converts 3 to 4 times better than still images. So where you can use video over images, run with that. Fifth, when in doubt, test. Do not assume that you know what's going to work. Facebook has a lot of features that enable you to test with their Facebook advertising tool. They've got an A/B testing feature, which you should definitely try out in case you have any doubt. If you're wondering whether we should use white text with a red background or red text with a white background, test it. Check which one performs better and make a decision from there. If you need high quality graphics done, there's a website called canva.com that you can check out. It's a superb website, and you don't need any graphics training. It's very user friendly, and you can start churning out content like a pro. Now, what makes for great copy? First thing you have to remember is that headlines are 80 cents on the dollar. You need to spend a disproportionate amount of time figuring out what goes into your headlines, because in today's world on the internet, we are a generation of headline readers. Most people just don't care about your content. It's the headlines that they remember. So you want to have a headline that is very witty, very engaging, very catchy, something that instantly drives their attention. Secondly, keep your titles between 6 to 13 words long. If they're less than 6, the text is too little to, is a lot of times too little to be informative. And if it's more than 13, then it becomes wordy, and sometimes it's cropped, it's truncated from the ad. So keep it 6 to 13 words long. Third, emotional messaging works best. One way to keep this in mind, you know those Facebook reactions, right? So within your ads, try to create copy that elicits those emotions, whether it's joy or wow or oh. Avoid anger ads that provoke anger. Well, you don't really want your brand to be associated with that kind of thing, unless that's what you want. Yes, and the thing with copywriting, you don't have to cram a lot of things. What you'll need is a few tools that you can pull out at suitable times. So there's some formulas that copywriters have invented over time that enable them to churn out great copy time and time again. Okay, so the first one is the AIDA formula. It stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. The second one is the PAS system. The third one is the thought felt found system. Now take your time, Google them, familiarize yourself with these. If you're looking to write some compelling copy, then you'll find that these three tools are going to be very, very helpful to you. Now the third thing that you need to finesse when you're running your Facebook ads is your targeting. You need to tell Facebook to run your ads to people who are relevant to your brand or business. Doing this is a process that takes time, but it can be aided by use of a few questions that will help you uncover and be able to describe who is the ideal audience for your ads. So the first question you should ask is, who are the thought leaders or big brands in your niche? Create a spreadsheet and list them down. If supposing you're in the fashion industry, the thought leaders would be people like, I don't know, Lady Gaga. They'd be people like Kylie Jenner. Big brands, you're looking at Fenty, you're looking at Maybelline, you're looking at Kylie still. So note them down, list them down, write as many as you can find, add them to that spreadsheet. The second one, what books or magazines or newspapers does your ideal customer read? Same example, in the beauty space, do they read Cosmopolitan? Do they read GQ? I'm not very familiar with the area, but list them down as well. What events do they attend? Do they have any events that they attend that are specific to people who are interested in that industry? What websites do they visit? Where do they live? Now, this is an important one because you need to know that they live in an area that you can be able to service them. It's no use for you to run ads to Kampala or even Kisumu and you're a hairdresser based in Nairobi, unless you intend to keep traveling to Kisumu. It's going to be a waste of your money. And the good thing with Facebook is that it allows you to specify this up to down to the neighborhood level. Now, what tools do they use? By tools, I mean I don't necessarily mean hammers and machetes. I mean like online tools. In the world of marketing, there's things like Neil Patel, who's got Uber Suggest. There is Moz.com. Their websites still, but you know they're functional tools. Okay, and the last one is what is completely unique about this group. This one is an important one. In my experience, each industry has some quirk within it that cannot be appreciated by any other industry. So you also need to give it some thought. So that wraps it up on the building blocks of a successful Facebook ad. I hope you found this video to be informative. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment, DM me on LinkedIn. I'd really love to hear your thoughts, your success stories, and any improvements or criticisms of the information held herein. Until next time, happy creating.